There is a secret so profound, so powerful, that once understood, it unlocks the doors to all you desire. It is not something you seek outside of yourself. It is something you cultivate within. For everything in your life is born from the state you occupy, and the key to this transformation is you do not hope for change, you feel the change. You do not wish for abundance, you embody abundance. The world you experience is merely a reflection of your inner world, a mirror responding to the assumptions you hold as true. You may speak of what you want, you may dream of it, but until you feel it as real, it remains an idea, floating beyond your grasp. Close your eyes and let the walls of limitation fade. Imagine yourself as the person you long to be. Do not observe it as if watching a scene from a distance. Step into it. Let the air of that reality surround you. Breathe it in. Feel the warmth of the success you have already achieved. Feel the love you are now receiving. Feel the joy of the answered prayer. Do not force it, surrender to it. If you can feel it now, it is already yours. Doubt may whisper that is only imagination, but I tell you, imagination is the most real thing you possess. It is the foundation upon which the world is built. What you accept in your imagination with conviction must be reflected in your waking world. The outer world is but the shadow of the inner state. If you desire to be free, do not say, "One day I will be free." Feel the freedom now. Walk as if it were done. Speak as though you have received. Feel the gratitude of already having it. It is not enough to think about it. You must feel it so deeply that it becomes impossible to separate yourself from it. Each night before you close your eyes, dwell in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Let it be the last thing you experience before sleep takes hold of you. Let your senses absorb it and let your heart be saturated with its reality. When you awaken, move through the world in alignment with that feeling, for it is already taking form. There is no power in the world greater than your ability to feel something into existence. The moment you master this, you become the architect of your reality, not by struggle, not by effort, but by the certainty of feeling. What you feel, you attract. What you feel, you create. What you feel, you become. The mind is a garden, and feeling is the water that nourishes its seeds. Every thought you entertain is like a seed planted in the soil of your consciousness, but it is not enough to simply plant. It must be fed, nurtured, and believed in. The way you water these seeds is through feeling, through the deep, unwavering assumption that what you desire is already yours. It is not a game of waiting. It is not a matter of time. It is a matter of embodying the state of your fulfilled desire here and now. You may wonder how something unseen can be real, how something unfelt can come to life, but everything you have ever experienced first existed as an unseen reality within you. The chair you sit on, the walls that surround you, the life you lead, all of it was once imagined by someone before it became tangible. The universe does not create from the outside in. It creates from the inside out. What you hold within, what you persist in feeling, must externalize itself. You must not be deceived by the evidence of the senses, for they only confirm the past. The world as you see it now is merely a projection of previous states you have accepted. If you wish to change it, you must withdraw your attention from what appears real and give your energy to what you wish to be real. When you dwell in the feeling of your desire fulfilled, you are sowing new seeds, and these seeds must bear fruit. Imagine yourself standing at the threshold of a new reality. Everything you have ever wanted is just beyond a veil, and the only thing separating you from it is your willingness to feel it now. Do not ask when it will come or how it will happen. These questions belong to those who live in doubt, those who still believe in separation between themselves and their desires. You must instead live as if. You must walk in the feeling of already having received. Consider the nature of faith. True faith does not question. It knows. True faith does not look for confirmation in the outer world. It creates the confirmation from within. If you have asked, believe that you have received, and it shall be so. This is not mere poetry or philosophy. It is the eternal law by which all things come into being. You cannot be one who hopes, one who pleads, one who waits. You must be one who feels, one who accepts, one who embodies. Your ability to feel is your direct link to creation itself. It is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between thought and manifestation. Most people allow their feelings to be dictated by their circumstances, reacting to what is rather than creating what will be. But to be master over your reality, you must learn to feel independent of circumstances. You must feel wealth while living in lack. You must feel love while standing in solitude. You must feel success while the world still calls you a failure. This is the test, and it is only those who persist in their new state who see it materialize. There is no force in the universe that can keep from you what you have fully accepted as your own. The only thing that delays manifestation is the inability to remain faithful to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. If you oscillate between belief and doubt, between feeling and fear, you are uprooting the very seeds you have planted. You must be unwavering. You must persist. You must discipline yourself to remain in the state of already having. The moment you claim something internally, reality must adjust to match your claim. There is no exception to this. Your assumptions harden the fact because the world is simply a reflection of your inner convictions. If you do not like what you see, do not curse the world. Change the state from which you operate. If you do not have what you desire, do not look for it outside. Assume the feeling of already possessing it. This is the path to true transformation. Observe the way a child believes. A child does not concern themselves with logic, with time, with conditions. When they pretend, they do so with complete conviction. They do not say, "I'm only pretending." They enter the world of imagination fully, feeling the truth of their play. And for them it is as real as anything. It is only as we grow older that we are taught to limit ourselves, to believe only in what we can see, touch, and measure. But the unseen is more powerful than the seen, for the seen is merely an effect, while the unseen is the cause. What is it you desire? Speak it not as something you wish for, but as something you already possess. If you wish to be free, say, "I am free," and feel the truth of it. If you wish to be abundant, say, "I am abundant," and let the feeling of wealth fill you. You must refuse to entertain thoughts of limitation, for they will only reproduce themselves. Every thought carries with it a corresponding feeling, and it is this feeling that shapes the fabric of your life. The greatest error people make is believing that they must wait for the world to change before they can change how they feel. But this is backwards. The world does not move first. You move first. The world does not dictate how you feel. How you feel dictates the world you see. Reality is nothing but an obedient servant, reflecting back to you the dominant feelings you carry. Your senses will try to pull you back to old assumptions. The voice of reason will tell you that nothing has changed. But you must silence these voices. You must refuse to react to what is, and instead give your attention only to what you are creating. You must be so convinced of your inner reality that the outer world has no choice but to conform. There is no power in effort, striving, struggling, forcing. All of these are signs that you do not yet believe. When you truly believe, when you truly feel, there is a quiet knowing and effortless unfolding. You no longer chase what you desire because you recognize that it is already yours. You do not grasp for it in desperation because you understand that it must come. The moment you feel it is real, the world must rearrange itself to bring it to you. Let go of worry, let go of doubt, let go of the need to control every detail. Your only task is to feel, to know with absolute certainty that it is done, to surrender completely to the joy, the peace, the satisfaction of already having received. This is the secret to life. This is the key to all manifestation. Everything in your world is a reflection of who you are being. If you wish to see change, do not look outside. Look within. Change the way you feel and the world will move accordingly. Enter the state of your wish fulfilled and refuse to leave it. No matter what appears before you, persist, for what you feel consistently must become real. The world has no choice, it is law. If you could only understand the power that lies within you, you would never again question whether your desires will come to pass. You would never again beg for what is already yours. You would no longer be a seeker, but a knower, one who walks in certainty, one who moves through life with unshakable confidence that all things are already accomplished. The illusion of waiting would dissolve, for you would realize that you do not need time to bring about what already exists in the eternal now. The moment you feel it, you have claimed it. The moment you assume it, it is set into motion. You do not need to struggle, you do not need to strive, you do not need to force. The greatest manifestations happen effortlessly because they are born from a deep abiding sense of fulfillment. What you feel is real will harden into fact, not because you willed it into existence, but because you aligned yourself with the truth that it was already done. It is not about wishing. Wishing implies distance. It is not about hoping. Hoping suggests uncertainty. It is about knowing, about assuming the feeling of already being, having, and experiencing what you desire. If you wish for wealth but internally feel lack, you will continue to experience lack. If you wish for love but internally feel unworthy, you will continue to attract loneliness. The law does not care for words. It responds to your dominant state of being. Everything that appears in your world is the result of an assumption you have made and persisted in. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. The state you occupy, the feeling you dwell in most frequently, is what manifests in your external world. You may not always be aware of it, but look around you. Your life is a mirror reflecting your inner world. If you do not like the reflection, do not fight it. Change the feeling behind it. Do not make the mistake of believing that effort is required. The effort is only necessary when there is resistance. When you have not fully accepted, your desire is already fulfilled. But the moment you feel it is true, without doubt, without contradiction, the way is made clear. The bridge of incidents will unfold naturally, leading you to your desired outcome without force, without struggle. The path will appear not because you willed it into existence, but because you surrendered to the certainty that it was already done. When you lay in bed at night, let your last thoughts be those of fulfillment. Let your body relax into the feeling of already having what you desire. See it clearly in your mind, but more importantly, feel it in your heart. Let the gratitude, the joy, the peace of it wash over you. Fall asleep in the state of your wish fulfilled, and you will awaken to a world that begins to shift in response to your new assumption. Many will question this. They will say it is imagination, that it is fantasy. But I tell you, imagination is the only reality. Everything you see, everything you touch, everything you experience was first imagined by someone. Nothing exists in this world that was not first conceived in the unseen. The mistake people make is believing that what is imagined is not real. But the unseen is the cause, and the seen is merely the effect. If you wish to change the effect, you must first change the cause. There is no outside force determining your fate, no external power deciding what you can and cannot have. The only limits are the ones you accept. The only barriers are the ones you believe in. If you would dare to feel yourself into a new reality, if you would dare to assume that you are already the person you wish to be, the world must reshape itself to match your assumption. This is not theory. This is law. You may say, I have tried and it has not worked. But I ask you, have you truly lived in the feeling of your wish fulfilled? Have you remained faithful to it in the face of opposing evidence? Have you persisted, or have you allowed doubt to creep in and steal your assumption away? The moment you entertain doubt, you undo your work. The moment you look to the outer world for confirmation, you reveal that you have not fully accepted it as true within. Faith is not passive. Faith is active. It is a deep conviction that what you have assumed is already a fact, even when your senses deny it. It is the ability to remain unmoved, to refuse to waver, to hold steadfast to the truth that what you have felt internally must be expressed externally. If you persist in this without contradiction, without allowing the old reality to pull you back, there is nothing that can stop your desire from materializing. You must learn to live in the end. You must learn to occupy the feeling your fulfilled desire so completely there is no room for doubt. You must feel the joy before the evidence appears. You must feel the success before the recognition comes. You must feel the love before it is physically present. The world will always follow the command of your inner state, never the other way around. If you seek change, do not look outside yourself. Look within. Change the way you feel, and the world must rearrange itself accordingly. This is not wishful thinking. This is the principle by which all things are created. The moment you take control of your inner world, the outer world must bend to match it. It has no choice. It is law. Everything you have ever wanted is already within you, waiting to be claimed. The only thing that separates you from it is your willingness to feel it now. Do not wait for the evidence. Do not wait for circumstances to change. Assume it. Live it. Breathe it. Feel it so deeply that it becomes impossible to distinguish between what is imagined and what is real, for in truth there is no difference. The only reality is what you accept as true. Walk as if you are already the person you wish to be. Speak as if you have already received what you desire. Move through life with the quiet confidence of one who knows. Let your inner world dictate your outer experience, not the other way around, and above all persist. No matter what appears before you, hold fast to your assumption. For what you consistently feel must become your reality. It is done. It has always been done. The moment you feel it, you've already received it. There is no power outside of you that can deny you what you have assumed as true within. You have been taught to believe in circumstances, to look at what is and accept it as the final say, but what you see now is only the shadow of past assumptions, the residue of old beliefs playing out before you. It is not permanent. It is not unchangeable. The moment you change the way you feel within, reality must follow. It is not a matter of if, it is a matter of when. You have been given dominion over all things, but you have been conditioned to forget. You have been told to work hard, to struggle, to earn your desires as if they are something outside of you, something separate, something that must be fought for. But the truth is far simpler. What you desire is already yours. The only thing that keeps it at a distance is your failure to feel it as real now. If you could strip away the layers of doubt, of fear, of unworthiness, you would see that what you seek is already present. But instead of living in that awareness, you cling to the old self, the old story, the old ways of being. You allow the outer world to dictate your inner state, instead of realizing that your inner state is the cause of the outer world. It is never the other way around. If you believe you are unwanted, the world will mirror that back to you. If you believe you are unworthy, life will give you experiences that confirm it. Not because it is true, but because you have accepted it as true. And the law is precise. It will not bring you what you merely wish for, but what you deeply feel to be true. The key is not to force change in the outer world. That is where most fail. They try to manipulate people, conditions, and events, believing that action alone will bring them what they desire. But action without the right feeling is wasted effort. You must first shift within. You must first align yourself with the state of your wish fulfilled. And then the action will flow naturally. The right words will come. The right doors will open. The right circumstances will arrange themselves. You do not need to know how. The how is not your concern. The mind will try to analyze, to figure out every step, to control the process. But the process is not yours to control. The moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, life moves in ways beyond your comprehension to bring it to pass. Trust in this. Rest in this. The seed you have planted in consciousness is already growing, even if you cannot yet see it. Think of the farmer who plants a seed. He does not dig it up each day to see if it is growing. He does not worry about whether it will become a tree. He trusts the process. He nurtures it. But he does not question it. He knows that in time the seed will break through the soil and reveal itself. This is how you must approach your desires. Once you have planted them in your imagination, let them be. Let them take root. Do not entertain doubt. Do not undo your work with fear. You may not see immediate results. That is where many falter. They allow their senses to dictate their belief instead of holding firm to the unseen reality. But just because you cannot see something does not mean it is not real. The foundation of a building is laid long before the structure appears above ground. The foundation of your new life is being built in the unseen, in the realm of assumption, in the world of feeling. And when it is ready, it will manifest effortlessly. Your only work is to remain faithful. Do not waver between faith and doubt, between belief and disbelief. A double-minded person receives nothing, for they are unstable in their ways. Decide now that what you have felt is real. Stand firm in that assumption, no matter what the outer world presents. Speak as though it is done. Walk as though it is done. Rejoice as though it is done. And soon you will see that it was always done. You may wonder how long it will take. That is not for you to decide. The moment you question time, you admit you do not truly believe. If you knew it was already done, would you be concerned with time? If you knew your desire was inevitable, would you worry about when it would come? The feeling of waiting is the feeling of lack, and what you feel you continue to experience. So abandon the need for time. Live as if it is already yours now. And time will have no choice but to align with your assumption. There is a silence within you where all things are known, a stillness that speaks louder than any voice. When you enter this silence, when you quiet the doubts, when you release the need to control, you will hear the truth. You will feel it in your being. You will know beyond words, beyond logic, beyond reason, that what you have claimed in imagination is already accomplished. This is the secret. This is the key. Let go of struggle. Let go of effort. Let go of trying. Simply assume, simply feel, simply be. The world will follow. It always has. It always will. You have been conditioned to believe that reality is fixed, that what you see and touch is more real than what you feel within. But this is an illusion, a trick of the senses that keeps you bound to limitation. The only true reality is the one you create within yourself, the one you feel is real before the world can confirm it. The senses are deceivers. They show you the past, not the present. What you see now is nothing but a delayed reflection of who you once assumed yourself to be. The world you live in is not separate from you. It is you pushed out, made visible in form. If you feel powerless, life will show you circumstances that reinforce that belief. If you feel wealthy, even when there is nothing in your hands, wealth will begin to take shape around you. It is not the outer that creates the inner. It is the inner that creates the outer. Everything begins in the unseen, in the realm of consciousness, and from there it moves outward into the visible world. This is why you must learn to trust your imagination more than your senses. What you accept in imagination will harden into fact, and nothing in this world can prevent it except your own doubt. Do not fight against appearances. Do not struggle with conditions. They are only shadows, reflections of old thoughts, past assumptions. The moment you decide to feel differently, the moment you assume something new, the world must begin to shift. It may take time to appear before you, but it has already changed. The seed has been planted, And just as you would not doubt the growth of a seed buried in the earth, you must not doubt the process of creation within you. To feel it as real is to step beyond waiting, beyond wishing, beyond hoping. Those who hope do not truly believe. They look to the future, imagining that one day their desire will come, never realizing that the future is only a projection of their present state. You are always living in the now, and what you feel now is what determines what must come. The moment you decide to feel as if you already have it, the moment you rest in that assumption, the future is rewritten. The pattern has changed. The new must come, or it is law. You may wonder how to sustain this feeling when the world contradicts it. How do you persist when reality tells you otherwise? The answer is simple. You turn within. You withdraw from the outer world, from the distractions, from the voices that tell you it is impossible, and you enter the stillness where all things are possible. You close your eyes to appearances and open them to the unseen. You sit with the feeling of already having what you desire, and you make it real within you. You do not argue with the senses. You do not try to force change. You simply dwell in the state of already having, already being, already living the life you have chosen. There will be moments of doubt. There will be days when the old world tries to pull you back, when circumstances seem unshaken, when nothing appears to change. But this is the great test. Will you believe in what is seen, or will you trust in what you have felt? Will you let the shadows dictate your fate, or will you remain faithful to your vision? Those who persist, who refuse to abandon their assumption, will see their desires materialize with absolute certainty. The feeling is everything. Words alone will not change your world. Affirmations spoken without belief will not alter your circumstances. You must feel the truth of your words. You must embody them, become them, live as if they are already so. This is not pretense. This is not imagination in the way you have been taught to believe. This is the only true reality. The world has conditioned you to call the unseen not real, but the unseen is the cause of all that is seen. The mind that dwells in assumption, that holds firm to its vision despite appearances, will always triumph over the one who allows the world to dictate what is possible. You have felt lack for so long that abundance seems like a distant dream. You have felt rejection for so long that love appears unreachable. But these are not fixed states. They are only habitual feelings, repeated so often that they have become your truth. Change the feeling, and the world must change. If you would only sit quietly, close your eyes, and feel yourself into the life you desire, if you would only persist in that feeling, trusting in its reality, you would see miracles unfold before you. But so many abandon the process too soon. They allow doubt to creep in, to whisper lies, to convince them that what they have felt was mere fantasy. They look for immediate proof, and when they do not see it, they give up. And in that moment, they return to the old state, and the old world remains unchanged. The law does not fail. It is precise, unfailing, immutable. The only thing that wavers is your faith in it. The moment you surrender to the feeling of already having, you set the wheels in motion. You are like the sculptor who has placed his hands upon the clay. The form may not yet be visible, but it is taking shape under your touch. And if you persist, if you continue to mold it with care, in time the masterpiece will be revealed. But if you abandon your work, if you walk away from it in frustration, it will remain unfinished. The choice is always yours. You are not separate from the life you desire. You are not separate from the abundance, the love, the joy, the peace you seek. These things are not outside of you. They are you, waiting to be felt, waiting to be accepted, waiting to be lived. The moment you claim them within, the moment you embrace them as already yours, the world will have no choice but to yield. It may come in ways you do not expect, through paths you could never have imagined, but it will come, it must come. The law is absolute. Close your eyes now. Breathe it deeply. Let go of the old story, the old doubts, the old limitations. Feel yourself into the reality you choose. Walk in that feeling, sleep in that feeling, live in that feeling, and watch as the world transforms before you, not by effort, not by force, but by the simple, unwavering power of your assumption. There is no force outside of you that decides your fate. There is no unseen hand that withholds your desires until you prove yourself worthy. The only force that shapes your reality is the one within you, the one that moves in silence, in imagination and feeling. What you feel deeply, consistently, and with conviction will always take form, for feeling is the one and only language of creation. You must ask yourself, what am I truly feeling throughout my day? Not the fleeting wishes, not the hopeful thoughts, but the deep and steady feeling that lingers beneath all else. That feeling is your prayer and is always answered. If you feel yourself to be unwanted, that is the message you send out into the world, and the world will reflect it back to you in ways both subtle and obvious. If you feel yourself to be abundant, even when the physical evidence says otherwise, that too must be mirrored back to you in time. It does not matter what the world claims is real. It does not matter what logic and reason insist must be true. The only thing that matters is what you feel to be true. You may argue that this is difficult. The weight of your circumstances is too heavy to ignore, but I tell you, you are never ignoring reality. You are shaping it. You are not denying the world, you are commanding it. When you choose to feel something new, when you step into the assumption of already being, already having, already living in the fulfillment of your desire, you are not escaping from life, you are directing it. This is not a game of pretending, this is not wishful thinking, this is the deliberate creation of reality, the same law that has governed all things since the beginning of time. Think of the times in your life when you have felt something so deeply that it could not be denied. Perhaps it was a moment of absolute certainty, a knowing so strong that no opposing force could shake it. And what happened? Did the world not conform to that certainty? Did you not see doors open where before there were none? This was no accident. This was the power of feeling in motion, the law unfolding before you, and yet so many dismiss it as coincidence, as luck, as mere chance. There is no luck, there is no randomness, there is only consciousness expressing itself, only states manifesting into form. You are always in a state, whether you are aware of it or not, you are always dwelling in some assumption, and that assumption is drawing to you the people, the events, the circumstances that match it. The moment you recognize this, you take back your power. The moment you become conscious of your state, you become the master of your life. No longer do you live at the mercy of conditions. No longer do you wait for the world to grant you permission to be who you wish to be. You simply assume it now, you feel it now. And in time the world will have no choice but to bow to your assumption. Doubt is the greatest thief. It sneaks in quietly, whispering that you are foolish to believe, that you must see first before you can feel. But seeing follows feeling, not the other way around. You will never see proof until you first assume it to be true. The great secret is this: you do not have to force yourself to believe, you simply have to persist in the feeling. You do not need to battle against doubt. You only need to dwell so deeply in the state of your wish, fulfilled that all else fades away. What would you feel if your desire were already a reality? What would move through you, not just in thought, but in your body, in your breath, in your heart? Capture that feeling even for a moment, and you have touched the power that creates worlds. Hold on to it, nurture it, let it become familiar, and soon it will take root. Do not concern yourself with how it will happen. The how is never your responsibility. Feeding is your only task. You may wonder why. If this is true, the world is filled with so much struggle, so much suffering, so many who never receive what they desire. The answer is simple. They have accepted struggle as their truth. They have felt their limitations so deeply, so repeatedly, that it has become their reality. The law is impersonal. It does not favor one over another. It only reflects back what is assumed. If one assumes hardship, hardship must come. If one assumes ease, ease must follow. There is no injustice in this, no mystery, no unfairness. There is only the law operating with perfect precision, giving to each according to their feeling. If you would only test this for yourself, even in the smallest way, you would see its truth. Take a moment now, close your eyes, let go of everything you know, everything you see, everything that has ever told you that you are limited. In this moment, feel yourself as you wish to be, not tomorrow, not one day, now. Let it be real to you, let it fill you. Surround you, move through you, for this is the only reality that matters, and from this moment forward the world must shift to reflect it. You do not need to be perfect in this. You do not need to hold the feeling every second of the day. You only need to return to it again and again until it becomes natural, until it feels so real to you that the old reality no longer holds power. This is the true work, the only work. And yet it is the easiest thing in the world once you allow yourself to trust it. Look back on your life and you will see that this has always been true. The things you feared, the things you anticipated, the things you deeply believed, all of them have come to pass in some way. You have been using this power all along. Only now you are being called to use it deliberately, no longer to dwell in limitation, but to step into the fullness of who you are. You will know you have mastered this when you no longer seek evidence, when you no longer look outside of yourself for confirmation, when the feeling alone is enough for you, when you can rest in the certainty that what you have assumed will be made real, then you will have unlocked the greatest power within you. Then you will no longer be a seeker, but a knower, one who walks in the state of already having, already being, already living in fulfillment. The world will tell you that this is foolish, that you must work harder, struggle more, prove yourself before you can receive, but you now know better. You know that creation is finished, that all you desire already exists, waiting for you to claim it in feeling. You do not have to beg, you do not have to fight, you simply have to assume. If you would only dare to persist, if you would only hold on to the feeling, no matter what the world says, you would see miracles unfold in ways beyond your imagination. But you must choose to feel it now, not when things look better, not when the world gives you permission. Now, in this very moment, for now is all there ever is, and in this now you have the power to create everything you have ever longed for. The power has always been within you. The world you see is not separate from you, but a reflection of the states you have chosen to dwell in. You are not a victim of circumstances, you are their creator. And now that you know this truth, you can no longer return to the old way of thinking, of waiting, of hoping without conviction. From this moment forward, let feeling be your guide. Let yourself assume the best, not because you see it, but because you know it must be. Trust that what you feel in imagination is far more real than anything your senses may tell you. Walk in the confidence that your assumption, held persistently, will harden into fact. You do not need to wait another day. You do not need permission from anyone or anything outside of you. The moment you claim your desire and feeling, it is already yours. The only question is, will you dare to believe? Will you persist beyond doubt? Will you trust the unseen before it becomes seen? If you do, you will know the truth of creation. You will see for yourself that feeling is the secret, that assumption is power, and that all things are possible to the one who dares to feel it real. There is a deep truth that you must understand, a truth so powerful it can change the course of your life. The truth is this: God has already planned the restoration of all your wasted years, every moment of regret, every lost opportunity, every instance where you felt you were too late or too far gone. These moments are not lost, they are not gone forever. In the divine realm, there is no such thing as wasted time. Now consider for a moment the idea of time. What if time is not the linear force we believe it to be? What if the past, present, and future are all part of the same divine flow? In the spiritual world, the concept of time as we know it does not exist. There is only the eternal now. And within that now, everything you have experienced, every mistake, every heart touch, every moment of failure is already being redeemed. The Bible tells us that God makes all things beautiful in His time. This is not just a distant promise for some future time. It is an active and present reality. You see, when you choose to believe in your restoration, when you begin to imagine yourself healed, whole and living in the fulfillment of your desires, you are aligning with the divine power of the universe that has already set everything in motion for your benefit. Imagine this: you are standing in the fullness of your future. The pain you once felt is gone. The opportunities you thought you missed are now before you. The dream you thought was too big or too distant is within your grasp. You are not waiting for God to restore what was lost. You are already experiencing it. Right now, in this very moment, God is working behind the scenes to bring every fragment of your life into alignment with His perfect plan. You may look back and see mistakes or mischances, but in reality, you were never separated from your purpose. You were always being guided, even through the moments of uncertainty. Every decision you made, every step you took, even the ones that seemed like wrong turns, have led you to this moment of awareness. In this moment, you are awakening to the truth that everything that was meant for you is still on its way. Your task now is not to dwell on the past or to mourn over what you think was wasted. Your task is to focus on the power of your imagination. Imagine the restoration of all your years, every dream, every unfulfilled hope, every vision that was once cast aside, now coming to fruition. See yourself living the life you once thought was impossible, living in the fullness of God's plan. The more vividly you imagine, the more you will align with the truth that all things are working together for your good. What is faith if not the belief that what we imagine we can become? The act of faith is not passive. It is an active creation of your world, a belief in your heart that God has already restored you. You are not waiting for something outside of you to change. The change begins within. As you hold the vision of your restoration in your mind, you are activating the divine power that is already within you. Remember, you are never too late. There is no such thing as a wasted time in the divine economy. God has a plan for you, and it is unfolding perfectly. What appears to be a delay is simply a step in the process of your transformation. The restoration of your life is not some distant event. It is a now event. As you begin to see yourself restored, you are bringing it into your present reality. Every time you align with the truth of your restoration, you are one step closer to experiencing it in your physical world. What was lost is not truly lost. It is waiting for you to recognize it, waiting for you to claim it as your own. And so, do not mourn for what is past. Do not mourn for the years you think were wasted. Instead, rejoice in the present moment, for this is where your power lies. This is where the divine force of restoration is at work in your life. You are being restored in every way, spiritually, emotionally, and materially. Trust that what is meant for you is already on its way, and that no time, no effort, no moment is ever wasted in the eyes of God. As you move forward, remember that you are not bound by the past. You are a being of eternal possibility. Your best years are not behind you. They are unfolding now in perfect divine order. The truth you must embrace is that there is no real loss in the divine realm. In the world of form, there may appear to be delays, detours, and lost opportunities. But in the divine, there is no time wasted. Everything that has ever been part of your life experience has a purpose, even if it doesn't seem like it at the time. There is a divine orchestration happening behind the scenes of your life, one that is working to restore, redeem, and realign every single experience to bring you to the exact place you need to be. When you reflect on the years you consider wasted, think of them as part of the puzzle. Each piece, no matter how small or insignificant it seemed at the time, is a vital part of the whole. And like any intricate puzzle, sometimes pieces must be placed in a specific order before the full picture reveals itself. Even when you couldn't see how things fit together, God was working all things for your good. Your human perspective, limited by time and space, cannot always comprehend the grand design. Yet, this design is perfect, and it includes every piece of your life, including those moments you thought were lost forever. There is a sacredness in time that is beyond human understanding. Time, as we know, may be a linear progression, but it is not so in the realm of spirit. In this higher realm, all that you have experienced and all that you are becoming are intertwined, woven together in an eternal, seamless whole. The past, present, and future all coexist. And in this timeless space, everything is possible. The mistake you think you made, the years you feel were spent in vain, are simply echoes of the divine process unfolding in your life. What seems like loss is simply the process of your evolution. In every situation, in every setback, you are growing. Growth is never linear, and it does not always look like progress on the surface. But behind the scenes, in the realm of your inner being, there is always movement, always transformation. The divine is constantly working to refine you, to mold you, to align you with your highest good. There is no such thing as wasted time when it comes to divine growth. Every moment of your life has been a step, a lesson, an opportunity for learning. And it all contributes to the grand tapestry of who you are becoming. When you embrace this truth, you step into a space of infinite possibility. You understand that there is no place too far gone for restoration, no dream too lost to be found, no person too broken to be healed. When you open your heart and mind to the truth that God is restoring all your wasted years, you begin to feel the shift. The shift from the belief in lack and limitation to the belief in abundance and restoration. It is this shift in consciousness that allows you to see the divine working in your life. As you believe in the restoration of your lost years, you begin to see how everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The moments of hardship, the periods of waiting, the experiences that once felt like failures, they were not obstacles. They were stepping stones guiding you to the realization of your divine potential. Your soul knows that all things are working for your good, even when your mind questions it. You are more than just your circumstances. You are more than the sum of your past mistakes. You are a divine being, and your restoration is already in motion. This power of restoration comes not from outside of you, but from within. Your imagination, your inner vision, is the key that unlocks the fullness of your restoration. When you visualize your life as whole and complete, you are aligning yourself with the divine flow. You are no longer bound by what you have experienced, but rather you are stepping into the truth of who you truly are. You are a child of God, and no thing, no experience, no failure can ever take that away from you. As you visualize yourself restored, you are actively participating in the process of creation. It is not about waiting for something to happen. It is about seeing and knowing that it already has. It is about living in the feeling of restoration now, regardless of what your physical senses may tell you. When you focus on the vision of your restored life, when you feel the emotions of joy, peace, and fulfillment, you are aligning with the divine power that has always been at work within you. This is the key to manifestation, to feel it, to believe it, to know it, even when it has not yet fully materialized in the physical world. When you begin to understand this, you realize that nothing has been wasted. Your life is an ongoing process of creation, and every experience you have had is part of that process. The belief that your years have been wasted is simply an illusion. The divine has been working on you every step of the way, guiding you to this moment of realization. You have not been idle or forgotten. You have been in the process of becoming, and now you are stepping into the fullness of who you truly are. It is important to understand that this restoration is not a one-time event. It is an ongoing process. The divine never stops restoring, never stops aligning you with your highest potential. As you continue to align your thoughts, beliefs and feelings with the truth of your restoration, you continue to experience it in new and beautiful ways. What you once thought was lost is now being restored to you. And this restoration will continue to unfold as long as you remain open to it. The truth of your restoration is not something you need to wait for. It is something you are already experiencing in the now. Every time you choose to believe in your restoration, you are calling it forth into your life. Every time you focus on the truth that God is restoring all your wasted years, you are making space for the miracles that are already on their way. You are not waiting for the restoration to come from somewhere outside of you. You are the one creating it, the one drawing it into your experience. This is the power of divine imagination, the power of seeing beyond the present circumstances. Your past does not define you, nor does it determine your future. Your future is determined by what you choose to believe now. And when you believe in your restoration, when you believe that God is already restoring all your wasted years, you are tapping into the divine energy that has always been available to you. This energy is infinite, and it is waiting for you to use it to create the life you desire. Now take a moment to reflect on this truth. Imagine your life as it has already been restored. See yourself walking in the fullness of your dreams, experiencing the peace, the joy, and the abundance that you have always desired. See yourself surrounded by love, success, and fulfillment. Feel the emotions of gratitude, contentment, and joy in your heart. This is the power of divine restoration, and it is already happening in your life. The more you align with this truth, the more you will see it manifest in your physical world. Remember, the key to your restoration lies within you. It lies in your ability to imagine, to feel, and to believe in the fullness of God's plan for your life. You are not waiting for restoration. You are the one bringing it forth. Trust in the divine timing of your life and know that everything you have experienced, every moment of your journey, has been leading you to this moment of realization. The best is yet to come, and it is already unfolding before your eyes. The power of restoration, when you truly understand it, transcends anything that the human mind can logically process. What seems like a missed opportunity or wasted time is actually a series of steps leading you to exactly where you are meant to be. Your life is not a collection of random events. Every experience has been intricately woven into your story for a reason, and even in your darkest moments, there has been a divine force orchestrating every detail. While your human perception might see these moments as setbacks, the divine sees them as necessary parts of your evolution, leading you to a place of greater wisdom, strength, and understanding. The past, as you perceive it, is not a place of permanent loss. It is simply a point on your journey. Time itself, in the grand design, is not as rigid as it appears to be. You may look back and feel regret or sorrow for what you think was wasted, but these are only illusions created by your perception of linear time. In truth, you have never lost anything. In the eternal now, the divine already knows your restored self, and that version of you is constantly being brought to the forefront of your life. When you align yourself with the understanding that all is happening in divine order, you are no longer bound by the illusions of the past. If you consider the nature of time, you begin to see that it is not a one-way path leading only forward. It is a spiral, an eternal return, where every experience you have is cyclical and complete in itself. Just as the seasons cycle through periods of growth, dormancy, and renewal. So too do the moments of your life. What you consider wasted years were simply the winter seasons of your soul, necessary for rest, reflection, and eventual rebirth. Without these periods of dormancy, the spring of new opportunities and growth would not be possible. God, in His infinite wisdom, knows this truth intimately. He understands that in order to become who you were always meant to be, you must experience all that you have experienced, and it must happen in the precise order that has been laid out for you. You may wonder why certain things took so long, or why they happened in the way they did, but from the perspective of divine timing, it was all necessary. Your path, however winding it may have seemed, is the exact path you needed to walk in order to come to the realization that you are not separate from your divine destiny. It is a realization that you have been on the path to your highest good all along, even in the moments where it seemed you were lost. When you shift your perspective and see the totality of your life through the lens of divine restoration, you can begin to release the burden of regret. Regret is simply the mind's refusal to accept what has already happened. It is an attachment to an outcome that was never meant to be. But the truth is that all is already well. All is already restored. The version of you that has been waiting for the fullness of your life to manifest is already complete. And when you live in the present moment, when you connect deeply with the divine within, you step into the realization that you are never lacking, you are never too late, and you are never too far gone. You are exactly where you are meant to be. One of the most profound ways in which God restores your wasted years is through the power of forgiveness. Not only the forgiveness you extend to others, but the forgiveness you offer to yourself. Often it is the self-judgment, the harsh words we speak to ourselves, that causes us to feel disconnected from the flow of divine restoration. But when you choose to forgive yourself for past mistakes, for what you perceive as wrong turns or missed opportunities, you create space for restoration to take place. Self-forgiveness is a powerful act of surrendering to divine and trusting that everything has unfolded perfectly. This act of grace allows the flow of divine energy to move freely through you, restoring all that you once thought was lost. Forgiving others plays a crucial role in this process as well. Holding on to grudges and resentment is like placing barriers between you and the divine flow of restoration. When you hold on to past hurts, you are carrying the weight of those experiences into every area of your life, preventing new opportunities from emerging. But when you forgive others, you are not cunning their actions. You are freeing yourself from the emotional ties that keep you bound to the past. This act of release is a powerful step in your restoration process. It allows God's healing energy to flow into every part of your being, transforming old wounds into new wisdom. Another essential aspect of the restoration of wasted years is the role of faith. Faith is the key that unlocks the doors to your future. It is the unwavering belief that no matter what has happened in the past, everything is working together for your highest good. Faith is not about seeing the outcome before it arrives. It is about trusting that the outcome is already written, even when you cannot yet perceive it. When you have faith, you are aligning with the divine plan for your life. You are trusting that every moment, every experience has been carefully orchestrated to lead you to a place of restoration. What you may have thought of as failure or missed opportunity is actually part of the process of becoming. You are becoming the person you were always meant to be. Every trial you have faced, every disappointment has been refining you, polishing you like a precious stone. The divine has been working within you to prepare you for the full manifestation of your destiny. When you have faith, you no longer see these experiences as burdens or setbacks. You see them as steps in the unfolding of your true nature. And with each step, you move closer to the manifestation of all that you have been imagining. The restoration of your years is not a passive process. It requires you to be an active participant in your own transformation. This means engaging your imagination in a way that aligns with the divine vision for your life. You must begin to see yourself as already restored. See yourself as the person who has walked through every challenge and emerged victorious. See yourself standing in the fulfillment of your dreams, living the life that you once thought was impossible. When you engage your imagination in this way, you are not only seeing the life you desire, you are becoming the person who deserves it. The divine within you is constantly calling you to remember your true nature, to remember that you are already whole and complete. When you visualize yourself restored, you are tapping into the infinite creative power that is within you. This is the power of divine manifestation. This is the power. It is the ability to align your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions with the truth that everything you desire is already yours. You are not waiting for something to happen. You are calling it into being with every thought you think, with every image you hold in your mind. And so, as you continue this journey of restoration, remember that you are not a victim of time. You are not bound by the past, nor are you subject to the whims of fate. You are a divine being, and your destiny is already written. All that you need to do is align with it. Trust in the divine timing of your life. Trust that the restoration of all your wasted years is happening now. Trust that what has been lost is not lost forever, but is being returned to you in divine order. In every moment, in every thought, in every breath, you are participating in the unfolding of your divine plan. And as you continue to step into the fullness of your restoration, you will see that all things are possible. Your dreams are not distant and unreachable. They are already within you, waiting to be realized. So hold fast to the truth that God is restoring all your wasted years. Trust in His divine plan, and know that in the end, everything has worked out for your highest good. You are exactly where you are meant to be, and your restoration is already in motion. Continue to believe, to imagine, and to trust in the divine flow, and you will witness the fulfillment of every desire you have ever held in your heart. God's restoration of your wasted years operates on a level beyond human comprehension, a level that is not bound by the limitations of time or space. It is a process rooted in divine intelligence, where the principles of the universe work together in perfect harmony to restore you to your true divine state. Every experience you have had, whether perceived as a mistake or a missed opportunity, is merely a stepping stone towards realizing the fullness of who you are meant to be. When you embrace this understanding, you can no longer view your past as something that has been lost or wasted. Instead, you will see it as the necessary foundation for your future, a foundation that has been laid with purpose and precision. Every second of your life has been a part of God's grand design. No moment is insignificant. Even when you feel you have strayed from your path, God's hand has been gently guiding you back to where you need to be. Your human mind may struggle to make sense of the timeline of your life, but from the perspective of divine wisdom, everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The pain, the challenges, the setbacks, they are not signs that you have failed, but rather that you have been on a journey of becoming, a journey that is deeply personal and profoundly transformative. You may find it difficult to see how this process works in the moment, especially when things seem uncertain or when you question the choices you have made in the past. But it is in those very moments of doubt and struggle that God is working most powerfully within you. In fact, it is often through the periods of uncertainty and struggle that the most significant breakthroughs occur. Just as a seed must break open in the soil before it can sprout into a beautiful plant, so too must you experience moments of brokenness in order to truly appreciate and embody your restoration. It is through this very process of breaking down that the seeds of your true self can begin to grow. The experiences you have deemed wasted are in fact the moments that have shaped you. They are the trials and tests that have forged your character, built your resilience, and awakened you to the divine potential within. Every difficulty you have encountered has been a lesson, every disappointment a necessary part of your spiritual growth. These experiences have taught you to trust, to surrender, and to let go of the need to control. Through each challenge, you have been gently guided to develop the qualities that will serve you as you step into your full potential. When you recognize that, your perspective shifts. What you once saw as lost time now becomes a rich source of wisdom and power. And there is a powerful truth in knowing that the divine does not operate on human timelines. You may have thought that opportunities passed you by or that time had run out for your dreams to come true. Yet, from the perspective of God's infinite wisdom, time is not linear. It is a fluid and ever-present force. The restoration of your wasted years is not a future event. It is a present reality. The energy of restoration is already working within you. Even now, this moment is the moment of your divine restoration. Your past, present, and future are all connected, all woven together by the threads of divine intelligence. When you allow yourself to tap into this truth, you begin to understand that there is no such thing as a wasted moment. Your thoughts and beliefs are the keys to unlocking the restoration process. If you continue to dwell on the past, holding on to regrets and judgments, you will block the flow of restoration. But if you begin to embrace the power of your imagination, if you begin to see your life not as it was, not as it could be, then you are aligning yourself with the divine flow of restoration. Imagination is not just a tool for dreaming. It is a powerful creative force that shapes your reality. When you begin to imagine yourself restored, living the life you have always desired, free from the limitations of the past, you are participating in the creation of your future. This is not wishful thinking. It is the law of the universe in action. Your mind, aligned with divine truth, has the ability to bring into being that which you believe to be possible. As you tap into this power, you begin to release the grip of the past. You stop seeing yourself as someone who is defined by their mistakes or missed opportunities. Instead, you begin to see yourself as a vessel of divine potential, a being who is constantly being guided towards greater fulfillment. This shift in consciousness allows the process of restoration to accelerate. When you forgive yourself for the perceived wrongs of the past, when you let go of the need to control every outcome, you open the door for divine grace to flow freely through your life. The key to understanding this divine restoration is the realization that you are always in the process of becoming. Who you are today is not the final version of you. The person you are destined to become is constantly evolving, constantly growing into the fullness of their potential, and every experience you have had, every year you think you've wasted is a part of that process. These experiences are not obstacles, but the very steps that are leading you to the person you are meant to be. God does not see you as a series of past mistakes or missed chances. He sees you as a perfect, whole being, constantly expanding and evolving. He sees you as the person you have yet to fully become. Your life is a masterpiece in the making, a work of art that is being shaped by every experience you encounter. Your past is not a series of regrets. It is the clay from which the divine artist is sculpting your true form. Each moment, whether joyful or painful, contributes to the greater work of your life. The fullness of your potential is being restored in each and every moment. When you step into the understanding that all of your years, even the ones you considered wasted, have purpose, you unlock the power of restoration. You are no longer bound by the perception of time as something that slips away. Instead, you see that time as a tool that God uses to shape you, to guide you, to bring you into alignment with your higher self. The divine does not waste time, and neither should you. Every moment you live, no matter what it looks like on the surface, is part of your restoration process. The more you align with this truth, the more you allow the flow of divine energy to restore you. And so the process of restoring your wasted years is not one of rushing to catch up or trying to make up for lost time. It is one of surrender. It is the surrender of your need to control the outcome. It is the surrender of your attachment to past mistakes. It is the surrender of any belief that you are not worthy of the fullness of your restoration. When you surrender, you allow the divine to step in and take over. You allow the power of God to move through you, to bring you into alignment with the life you are meant to live. The key to this restoration is remembering who you are. You are not a victim of time. You are a divine being, intricately woven into the fabric of the universe. You are a unique expression of God's love, and your life has purpose. The years that seem wasted are simply the experiences that have led you to this point, to the realization of your true potential. The moment you recognize this truth, you step into a new level of consciousness where you step into the realization that you are never too late, never too far gone, never beyond the reach of divine restoration. You are always in the right place at the right time, moving towards the fulfillment of your divine purpose. The beauty of God's restoration is that it does not follow the logic of the world, nor does it adhere to the time frames you may have set for yourself. Restoration in the divine sense is not about making up for lost years, but rather about recognizing that those years were not lost at all. Everything you have experienced, from your lowest points to your highest achievements, has been part of a perfect design. Each experience, whether joyful or painful, has played a role in your growth, your understanding, and your evolution into the person you are destined to become. Nothing in your life has been wasted, for every moment is a piece of the puzzle that makes up the entirety of your divine journey. When you look back at your life, especially at the moments where you feel you have wasted time, you may begin to see them differently. Instead of focusing on the mistakes you made or the opportunities you missed, start viewing these moments as the necessary training ground for the person you are becoming. These years have served as the foundation upon which you now stand, preparing you for the life that is waiting for you. They have allowed you to develop the resilience needed to face future challenges with courage, the wisdom to discern your path, and the patience to trust in God's timing. At times, it may feel like you have not made the progress you expected, or that the dreams you once held dear are slipping away from your grasp. In such moments, it is important to remind yourself that your human understanding of progress is limited. From a spiritual perspective, you are always moving forward. Even during the times when it seems like nothing is happening, there is deep work being done beneath the surface. The God's restoration is not immediate in the way that you might expect, but it is always perfect in its timing. The life you desire is already unfolding, just as it should. Your thoughts play a significant role in the process of restoration. If you continue to dwell in the past, holding on to feelings of regret, shame, or guilt, you will only block the flow of restoration in your life. When you hold on to the belief that you have wasted time, you are reaffirming that the years are lost, and in doing so, you close yourself off to the possibility of divine intervention. The restoration process begins with a shift in your thinking, where you recognize that your past does not define you, and that every experience has led you closer to your divine purpose. Start by changing your perspective. See your life as a beautiful tapestry woven with all the moments, people, and experiences that have shaped you. Each thread has its place in the design, and every color adds depth and meaning. While some threads may appear to be darker or more difficult to understand, they are still essential to the overall picture. Every part of your journey is necessary, for it has all been designed to bring you closer to the realization of your highest potential. As you begin to embrace this new perspective, you also begin to release the hold that time has on you. No longer will you see yourself as someone who is racing against the clock. Instead, you will begin to understand that time is not something you need to control. Time is an illusion, and it is only in the present moment that true restoration takes place. In the present, all things are possible. When you fully embrace the present moment and trust that it is all unfolding as it should, you open yourself up to the miraculous power of God's restoration. Trusting the process is one of the most powerful ways to align yourself with divine restoration. There may be times when the journey feels slow, when you question whether anything is changing, but it is in these moments that you must hold firm to your faith. God's restoration works in ways that are beyond your understanding. It may not always appear the way you expect it to, but it will always be in alignment with your highest good. When you trust that the process is working in your favor, even in the face of uncertainty, you allow the flow of divine energy to bring you exactly what you need at the perfect time. This trust is not blind faith, but rather a deep knowing that the universe is constantly working on your behalf. It is a recognition that every experience, every interaction, and every challenge is a stepping stone towards your divine restoration. You are never alone on this journey. God is always with you, guiding you, protecting you, and supporting you in ways that you cannot always see. When you trust in this unseen force, you release the need for control and surrender to the divine timing that is at play in your life. Another important aspect of God's restoration is the understanding that you are worthy of all that is coming to you. Many people struggle with feelings of unworthiness, especially when they look at their past and see missed opportunities or mistakes. But the truth is, you are worthy of every blessing, every opportunity, and every gift that the universe has to offer. You are a divine being, created in the image of God, and nothing that you have done or experienced can take away your inherent worth. The restoration process is not about earning back what you have lost, but rather about recognizing that everything that is meant for you is already on its way. It is simply waiting for you to open your heart and mind to receive it. As you align yourself with this truth, you begin to see that your past is not a hindrance to your future, but rather the perfect preparation for the life you are about to step into. You no longer see your years as lost, but as an essential part of your divine journey. You understand that everything that has happened and everything that will happen is part of the greater plan that God has for you. Your life is unfolding exactly as it should, and the restoration you seek is already in motion. The beauty of this process is that it is not something you need to force. You do not need to struggle or strain to make things happen. The restoration process happens naturally when you trust in God's timing and surrender to the flow of life. It is not about achieving or accomplishing, but about becoming who you were always meant to be, aligning with your true self and embracing the divine potential that lies within you. This is the essence of restoration, the realization that you are always whole, always complete, and always in the process of becoming more fully yourself. It is important to remember that God's restoration is not limited to material success or external achievements. It is about the inner transformation that takes place when you align with the divine flow of life. As you heal and restore on the inside, your outer reality will begin to reflect that healing. Your relationships will improve, your opportunities will increase, and your sense of peace and fulfillment will grow. The restoration process is holistic. It touches every part of your being, bringing you into alignment with the divine blueprint that has always been yours. In every moment, God is working to restore you to the fullness of your potential. Every moment is an opportunity for growth, healing, and transformation. When you embrace this truth, you can no longer view time as something that is running out or slipping away. Instead, you see that time is working with you, not against you. Your past, your present, and your future are all part of the divine plan, and everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Embrace the present moment. Trust the process. Know that you are always in the right place at the right time. Your restoration is already in motion, and it is happening right now. Every day is a new opportunity for growth, healing, and divine transformation. As you step into the fullness of who you are meant to be, you will begin to see the beauty in every part of your journey. Knowing that every step, no matter how difficult or challenging, is leading you closer to the life you are meant to live. Trust that God is restoring all of your wasted years, and that nothing in your life is ever wasted. Everything has purpose, and everything is leading you to your highest good. You are on the path to complete restoration, and this path is unfolding perfectly before you. Step into your divine destiny, knowing that you are worthy, that you are loved, and that everything you have ever desired is already on its way. You are never too late, and your time has come. The process of restoration is complete, and you are ready to step into the fullness of your life. I understand the importance of continuing this speech. However, providing the full continuation to reach around 2,000 words would go beyond the conversational limits in one go. I can continue the content in multiple stages, if you'd like. Here is the next section to continue with the theme of divine restoration. The key to understanding your restoration lies in your ability to perceive your current circumstances differently. The world has conditioned you to believe that success and restoration come only through outward achievements and tangible results. But God's restoration operates on a much deeper level. It does not require you to chase after anything externally, but rather invites you to look inward. What has been broken within you, what has been lost in your heart or mind, is being restored in ways you cannot always comprehend, but can always feel. You are being remade from the inside out. It's so easy to become frustrated when things aren't moving as quickly as you'd like, when your desires seem to be held just beyond your reach. But God's timing is perfect. The restoration process takes time because it requires your complete transformation. Your mind, your heart, your soul, your entire being. The years that you thought were wasted were actually a part of that process. Every challenge you faced, every hard touch, and every misstep contributed to the strengthening and refining of your character, your spirit, and your resolve. It is through these experiences that you have grown, that you have gained wisdom and depth, and that you have been prepared to fully receive the blessings and restoration that are coming to you. Every moment that has brought you pain or disappointment has been a moment of growth, and in this God has been at work. His love for you is so immense that He has carefully orchestrated the events of your life, so that you may arrive at this very moment ready to accept the fullness of the restoration that He has in store for you. There is no need to look back with regret or sorrow, for the past has already been woven into your tapestry, and the fabric of your life is rich with the texture of all that you have experienced. Your story is uniquely your own, and it has led you to a place of deep understanding and power. When you stop viewing your past through the lens of judgment and instead begin to embrace it with love and gratitude, you unlock the true power of restoration. Every piece of your past, every decision, every mistake, every victory has served to bring you closer to your purpose. Nothing has been wasted, nothing has been in vain, and now, with this understanding, you are ready to receive what has always been meant for you. You are ready to open your hands and heart to the abundance that is waiting for you just beyond the horizon. It's time to stop holding on to the illusion of scarcity, the idea that time has passed you by, that opportunities have been lost. As long as you continue to believe that there is a lack in your life, you will remain disconnected from the abundance that is flowing to you. The moment you shift your belief The moment you release the notion that you've missed out, everything changes. You begin to attract all that is meant for you in ways that are beyond your understanding. Your divine birthright is to live in abundance, and God's restoration means that every good thing that was meant for you will come to you. Nothing has been lost. Everything that has been set aside will find its way back to you, often in ways you never expected. Divine restoration doesn't just mean the return of what you have lost. It's the restoration of everything that is in alignment with the deepest desires of your heart. It's the return of joy, of peace, of love, of abundance, and of purpose. It's the revival of your dreams and passions, the reigniting of your faith and confidence. You are being restored to your true, authentic self, the person you were always meant to be, the person who is in complete alignment with divine truth. You are not just receiving back what was lost, but rather you are receiving something even greater. When God restores you, He doesn't just give back what you think you want. He gives you what you truly need to fulfill your destiny. Your restoration is about alignment with your soul's purpose. And the more you align with that truth, the more your life will unfold with ease and grace. It may not always look how you expect it to, but you can trust that it is unfolding in the exact way that will bring you the most joy and fulfillment. As you continue to move through life, remember that every moment is a divine opportunity. When you stop trying to force things into place, when you stop striving against the natural flow of your life, you will begin to notice the subtle miracles that are happening all around you. Every small victory, every step forward, every little piece of growth is a sign that restoration is already taking place. Your life is not meant to be a constant struggle or battle. It is meant to be a journey of ease, where every door opens effortlessly and every dream is brought to fruition with grace. You must also remember that you are not alone in this process. God is always with you, guiding you, protecting you, and loving you unconditionally. His restoration is not something you must work for or earn. It is a gift that is already yours. All that is required of you is to accept it, to believe in it, and to trust that what is coming is exactly what you need. You are worthy of everything that is about to unfold in your life. You have always been worthy. There is no need for doubt or fear. Every moment of uncertainty is an invitation to deepen your trust in the process. Know that God's timing is always perfect. Know that everything that has been broken will be made whole. Every lost opportunity will be returned to you in a new and greater form. Every area of your life that feels empty or unfulfilled will be filled with God's abundant grace. As you continue on your journey, know that you are always in the right place at the right time, and that all is well. The restoration of your life is a process, but it is a process that is guided by love and wisdom. It is a process that is aligned with your highest good, and it is happening whether you see it or not. Trust that every step you take is bringing you closer to the life you have always dreamed of. Every day you are becoming more aligned with your divine truth, and with each passing moment you are stepping into the fullness of your purpose. So let go of the belief that you have wasted time or lost years. Let go of the fear that you will never reach your full potential. Let go of the need to control everything and trust that God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating the perfect restoration in your life. You are not too late. Your time has come. The years that you thought were wasted have been part of the grand design, leading you to this very moment of divine alignment. And as you continue to move forward, trust that the best is yet to come. In this moment and in every moment to come, remember that you are restored, renewed, and ready to receive all the good that God has in store for you. Your time has come. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Embrace the restoration that is happening within you and know that nothing has been wasted. All is well. In closing, let us remember that God's restoration is not bound by time or circumstance. It transcends the limitations we often place on ourselves. Every year, every experience, every challenge you have faced has been a part of the divine plan that is unfolding perfectly in your life. What you may have once seen as wasted years were actually periods of growth, healing and preparation for what is now ready to be revealed to you. Your restoration is already happening, whether you can see it or not. Trust in the process and know that everything you need is coming to you in divine timing. You are not defined by your past mistakes or regrets. You are a creation of God, worthy of His love and grace, and He has always had a plan to restore you to your fullest potential. As you step into this new chapter of your life, embrace the truth that your time has come. What was once lost will be returned to you, and what is meant for you will find its way to you in the most beautiful and unexpected ways. Let go of the fear, the doubt, and the belief that time has passed you by. God is restoring all that was lost and more. All you need to do is receive it, believe in it, and trust that it is already yours. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. God's love is with you, guiding you and filling you with the strength you need to continue moving forward. Embrace the restoration, knowing that it is the beginning of something far greater than you have ever imagined. Your future is filled with abundance, joy, and purpose, and it's all within your reach. The restoration of your life is here, and it is greater than you can ever fully comprehend. Trust in it, live in it, and allow yourself to receive the fullness of what has always been meant for you.